I've been trolled since 2012, since the first time I joined Twitter, and as soon as they realized that my voice was gaining credence, that my voice was an important voice, I think they started to wanted to silence me, with their abuses. Of course, they realized that I'm far too thick-skinned to be silenced by their trolling. But there are days, of course, when it gets really abusive. They call me a slut. They call me prostitute is very common. They call me a Porkistani. They call me a jihadi Jain. I don't know, all sorts of names. I mean, I'm just trying to think of Randi is something that is very often thrown at me. That's something they think, oh, if we throw this name, perhaps we'll be deterred. But no, it doesn't really do anything to me. Just is who I mean. So. Behan chod is something that they think, okay, if we use this word, perhaps it will make her feel uncomfortable. That's something they reuse really often. I remember that they started this Twitter trend called Rana Ayyub CD. And this was sometime when I released the Ishrat Jahan tapes, and especially about the fake encounter. And the next day, Twitter, there was a hashtag Rana Ayyub CD, and under the when you have Rana Ayyub CD, so you had trolls asking, oh, what are the contents of this CD? Does it have a nude image of her? Does it have her in a Does it have a nude image of her? I mean, is there a sex tape of Rana Ayyub? Then that Rana Ayyub CD went on to Rana Ayyub sex tape. I don't know where did it come from, but I think that was their way to kind of intimidate me, because they thought if there is something like this, perhaps that she will be deterred. But I was really bothered. I mean, I really wanted to know why Rana Ayyub CD, why Rana Ayyub sex tape, where is it coming from? Of course, it died in a few days when they realized that I was not really deleting my account, or I was not really taking offense to it. So, so next day I tweeted, hey guys, please send me the CD, me and my family would love to watch it. And I think after that it stopped. As we talk, I'm just getting this good news that yesterday in UAE, a company, National Paints, has fired an employee after I named and shamed one of their employees who said spread your legs apart. And I took a screenshot of him and I posted it on my Twitter timeline. And luckily there were some great people who approached the HR company, and the HR took swift action. And but back in India, I've seen that every time I file an FIR, every time I have reported to Twitter, there is absolutely no action against them. In fact, they are more emboldened. Yesterday when I tweeted this about me getting justice and this guy's been sacked, people started sending me screenshots. Okay, now we are doing it. Try reporting us. And of course, they were anonymous handles. So they know that in India, not much can be done about anonymous handles. So they kind of use that as a shield to attack me. And I have tried to reason this out with many cops in the past, that why can't you just go to the bottom of it? It's not very difficult, But they really do not think it's an important enough issue for them to spend so much time on. Earlier, I'd really be bothered. I'd take it personally. Am I doing something which is wrong? Am I posting something which is insensitive? Am I posting something which is related to my sexuality? So I would really kind of block people and then try to reply, and but now I do not see them as people who are objecting to my thought process. I think it's a paid syndicate which is doing their job. So I do not really get bothered. I try to give it back to them in the same language, not in the same language as an abusive language. I use sarcasm quite a bit. I point out to the hypocrisy, but most of the time I try to just stay silent and just ignore them. Many times they humor me. I mean, they are so irrational that most of the times I end up providing humor. But yes, when it gets serious, I make it a point to report them. When this entire Gurmeher Kaur episode was happening, and from the Fogart sisters in Haryana to the actors like Randeep Hooda, they kind of there was an entire troll academy. I mean, I was trending for 2 nights, and there were only abuses online. And when you have high profile people leading this troll brigade, it really unnerves you. You kind of believe that, okay, the world outside believes you're doing something wrong. So I almost posted on my Facebook that I can't handle this. This is unnerving. I cannot take this anymore. I wanted to delete my account, and I actually popped a pill and went off to sleep. And I told my parents, enough is enough. I'm not going to deal with it. And the next day when I got up, there were Facebook messages. How could you think of it? You are somebody who's out there and who's speaking the truth. You cannot leave the field, and this is what they want to do. So that really, there was very promising, the kind of responses I got, and I thought at the end of the day that this is what they want me to do. They want me to quit. The reason why they are doing it is not because they're opposed to what I do or what I stand for. The reason they're doing is because they want me to quit the space.